Hi Year 6, we are carrying on with the theme of multiplying decimals today, but we're going to take it a step further. So yesterday we were looking at numbers that we could possibly even calculate in our head, even though we introduced the idea of exchanging when we went over the barrier. Now we're going to take that a step further today, as I mentioned, with some bigger numbers, and so I'm going to introduce another method to you that you will be familiar with, but we're going to adapt it for decimals. So here's our first question. 4.05 multiplied by 3. Now you can see that I've set this out here underneath my place value grid. So 4.05, so I've got 4 units, no tenths and 5 hundredths, and I'm multiplying by 3 whole numbers. So I've put my 3 in my units column. Now I can add in my decimal point here, and I'm also going to add in my decimal point underneath for my answer. Okay, so that decimal point never moves. If I wanted to, I could add in zeros here to show us that I've got nothing to multiply here. Now, there is no point in me going through with these zeros because we know that 0 multiplied by anything is 0. So I'm going to start with my units, the one that I've got something in my column. So let's think about this. 3 multiplied by 5 hundredths. Well, we've been doing this for the past few days. So 3 lots of 5 hundredths is 15 hundredths. I can't fit all 15 in that column. So I've got 5 hundredths, and my 10 hundredths I'm going to exchange for 1 tenth. So I'm going to carry my 1 here. Now that 1 is 1 tenth, remember. Next up, I do 3 wholes multiplied, but I've got no tenths here. So that would be none or 0. But I've got my tenth here that I had to carry, so I can now put that in. Then, just like we normally do, we move on to our whole numbers. 3 times by 4 gives us 12. Can't fit 12 in my units, so the 2 ones go there, and I carry my 1 10. So my answer will be 12.15. 12.15. Now, just like yesterday, there's another method that we could do to solve this. We could turn 4.05 into 405. So we have multiplied this number by 100. Okay, 10 times bigger would be 40.5, 100 times bigger is 405. I could then multiply that by 3. In my column method, just like we've practiced, 3 times 5 is 15, 3 times 0 is 0, add my 1 or 10, 3 times 4 is 12, that's 12 tens, so it goes in my hundredths. Okay, so I would have 1,215. Because we made it 100 times bigger, I would need to divide my answer by 100, and I would get the same answer of 12.15. Okay, so 2 methods just like before, but we're introducing that compact method of multiplication, but using it for decimals, or we can adjust our answer like we've been practicing. Let's go through another one together, or if you're feeling confident, you can pause, have a go on your own, and then we'll go through it. So the question is 4.25 multiplied by 3. So same again, I've set this out with my place value grid, and you guys can do this at home as well. Draw out your place value on the top. So I've got 4 in the units, 2 tenths, 5 hundredths, and then my 3 in my ones column. Just like before, I'm going to add in my decimal point here and underneath so that it's there and ready. Let's start off with our 3 units multiplied by 5 hundredths. Gives us 15 hundredths just like before. My 5 hundredths go there, and I exchange my 10 hundredths for 1 tenth. This time I've got 3 lots of 2 tenths, which gives us 6 tenths. Add this tenth here, gives us 7 tenths. Now we move on to our whole numbers. 3 times 4 gives us 12. Ones, 2 my ones column, exchange the 10 ones for 1 tenth. 12.75 this time. You might have done it the other way around, so you might have turned 4.25 into 425 times by 3, gives us the same answer. But this time we have to divide our answer by 100, remember, because we've made it 100 times bigger, and it gives us the same answer, 12.75. Now I want you to pause the video and have a go at these questions. I've set one out for you. I don't mind which method you use, perhaps try using both and see which one you prefer. Okay, so for the first one, 2 wholes multiplied by 8 hundredths gives us 16 hundredths. So we put the 6 in our hundredths and we exchange 10 hundredths for 1/10. 2 lots of 3 tenths is 6 tenths. Add this tenth gives us 7 tenths. Should have had a decimal point in there. 2 wholes multiplied by 2 wholes gives us 4 wholes, so 4.76. Now the answers for the next 3. So 1.29 multiplied by 3 should give you 3.87. 1.92 multiplied by 3 should give you 5.76. And the last one, 1.32 multiplied by 9 should give you 11.88. Well done if you got those. If you didn't get those, don't worry, go back and have a look at the 2 methods and choose the one that you find most comfortable with. Today's task is on Purple Mash. I would recommend 2 things. So one, doing it on a piece of paper before you input your answer into Purple Mash. And the other thing being, draw yourself a place value grid, because that can really help alleviate some of those errors that some of you found yesterday with your place value. So good luck, let us know how you get on, try your best. The second question is some word problems. They sound trickier than they are, so just identify the information you know, and it's all about multiplying, remember. Good luck, see you tomorrow.